Panel koju drži naša cosplay gošća koja nam se 3. put vraća u Srbiju, Okkido iz Mađarske. Osim što smo povratak Okkido naslovili kao da je reč o stikvilu bog zna kakvog blockbustera, jako važno napomenuti da se naša stara prijateljica ovoga puta vraća u Srbiju u nešto drugačijem svetlu nego ranije, a to je kao pobednica situ i tu takmičenja koja je neka vrsta kupa komik-konova i najprestižnijeg svetskog cosplayerskog takmičenja. I nećete ovo vidjeti svaki dan da Cersei Lannister pozdravi Marjorie Tyrell kao kraljicu. Dakle, predstavljam vam Okkido.
Well, so welcome everyone. I'm really glad that you came because I just never believed that anybody would be interested in what I'm going to talk about. So, as Isidora has just, introduced that we're going to talk about, or I'm going to talk about my adventures on international competitions. I've just arrived home from Chicago, and after that I went to Davos in Switzerland to take part in some international and world championships. So it was a really, really valuable experience for me because, in the eastern part of Europe, it's not easy to have the opportunity to take part in competitions like this. I guess that you all know about this. It's quite difficult from Serbia, and it's almost just as difficult from Hungary. So let's get started. This is my 3rd time here, but there may be some people who don't really know me, so let's start with an introduction. So I started cosplaying in 2006, but they were so lame. I was such a beginner and blah, 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 that I think that the real beginning of my cosplay was in 2010. And as you know, I'm from Hungary, and in my private life, I'm an HR manager or HR associate at a multinational company. So I blow all the money I earn on cosplaying, so yeah. And cosplay is my hobby, but my life is dominated by the Gothic subculture, and it's really important to me, the philosophy and the message it has with its aesthetics and etc. And unfortunately, a day consists only of 24 hours. I have lots of other interests besides cosplay, and some of them are horse riding, kendo. I take fitness really seriously. I do female wrestling trainings, and I'm going to start CrossFit soon. And I really love learning languages. I do LARPing and I'm computer games freak. So yes, lots of interests. There is not enough time for them. Yes, so my cosplay. Yes, this is what I talked about, and I'm a really slow cosplayer. So in more than 10 years, I could finish at about 20 costumes or a bit more. And in the beginning, I did anime and manga, and nowadays I concentrate on computer games or sci-fi or fantasy, especially Warhammer 40K. This is what I'm most known for. I have won more than 30 awards and prizes. To tell you the truth, I don't really count them. It may sound really conceited, but after a while, it just doesn't matter, if you get prizes or not. The most important thing is that, you can get into the skin of that character. And I have also taken part in international competitions. I have been to MCM Expo, Euro Cosplay twice in 2010 and 12. Both times I was the 4th, the biggest loser, And last year I won the Vienna Comic Con Championships of Cosplay. It wasn't a qualifier, it was also a championship. And the champion, the best in show, could go to the American C2E2 Crown Championships of Cosplay. So this final was in this year. So here are some pictures of my cosplays. So let's get into the middle of this. how the hell did I get there? So some information about the championship itself. It started in 2014, so and it went global in 2016. So it was only international last year and this year. Before that, it was only an American championship, but it was considered to be the most prestigious in the United States, and now it is considered to be the most prestigious cosplay contest in the whole world. So I was really lucky to be there. There are qualifiers in 9 different countries all over the world, and the champions of the 9 regions can go to America, to Chicago, to Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo. Yes, and this convention is in Chicago, Illinois, and what's that? So here are the last year's winners. He is American. He cosplayed an orc. He was the 3rd. The second one was the representative of Austria. He's a really, really nice guy. I have met him, and it was enormous. So he couldn't even get on stage. It was around 2.5 meters tall. Amazing, just made sounds while he was walking, and there was smoke and lights, and wow. And I thought that when I saw that if he is the 2nd, how, oh my God. So the first one was the Australian champion. I guess because her cosplay was really complex and lots of textures and techniques went into it. So she was the winner last year at the first global championships of cosplay. So how did I get there? As I told you, there are different regions, and in Europe there are 2 championships. One of them is in Vienna, in Austria, and the other one is in France. And I think that they represent the eastern and the western part of Europe. And in 2016, in the spring, I got a flyer. There was that Wheeljack, the Transformer, who was the 2nd last year. And do you want to travel to Chicago? And I said, hell yes. And I just, read it, and oh my God, my stomach started lifting and whatever. I was really excited, and I decided that, wow, this is a really great opportunity. And in that time, I was a bit disillusioned and demotivated because there weren't really good possibilities from Hungary to take part in international competitions. And to tell you the truth, I was afraid that I will never get the opportunity. So I had to alter my plans and open to other countries, other conventions. And this was another push for me to go and try my cosplay in other countries. So yes, I got the flyer. I still have it somewhere. So I wanted to bring it, but unfortunately I forgot. But that started everything. And I'm usually a very organized person, but I was so, I don't know, I was really thinking a lot about the whole thing, and I almost missed the deadline to enter the competition. So I had to write several emails, and fortunately I was accepted. So yeah, it was big luck. I was the black horse in the whole competition, I guess. And I also had some troubles organizing my trip to Vienna. So everything started quite badly. I had a ticket to the Vienna Comic Con with a bus ticket, and they would take us there and take us home. But the time by they arrive, I should have been over the prejudging, and by the time they started back to Hungary, I had been still on stage. So I had to change everything and get a hotel room and everything. So it was not easy to organize, but I was so, determined to be there and to compete that I just solved everything. And I was really blown away with the Vienna Comic Con. So if you have the opportunity, just go there, because it brings a piece of American conventions to Europe, to the eastern and the middle part of Europe. They have a really beautiful venue, lots of things to see and do, and they have celebrity guests like actors and whatever. I know that it's not important or interesting for everyone, but you could meet Game of Thrones actors, supernatural actors, etc. So it's just amazing, and the people are so nice there, and they really appreciated that I spoke German to them and all these things. And the other contestants were super friendly, so I didn't feel that stress what I always feel in Hungary, that you are being hated and you are being judged and rated and whatever. But they were so nice and friendly that we went together everywhere, and we helped each other in the changing room. So this brought back my old concept and feeling about cosplay competitions in general, because this is how it started in Hungary, and it went in a really bad way. But in that convention, it was still like in the old years. So I was really, energized by that. So yes, the whole thing was really interesting, because there were 4 categories, like armor, needlework, effects, and larger than life. Larger than life means that you extend your measurements at least with 30 centimeters, so you can be taller or you can be wider or whatever. And I entered the armor category with my Inquisitor armor. I hope some of you have already seen it. Have you? Oh, thank you for following me. So I entered the armor category, but in the end they were announcing the winners, and in the rules it was stated that they announced the best in show from the 4 winners of the categories. And the armor category went to a really awesome Austrian cosplayer who was cosplaying Immortan Joe from Mad Max. He was, wow, one of the best one I have ever seen.
Was it Bjorn?
It was Mattia.
Oh.
He has Italian origins, but he lives in Austria. And he was really amazing, and I was really happy for him. And backstage, when we were, congratulating him, one of the helpers came to me that, hey, come with me. And I didn't know. I had no clue what was happening. And I had to stand next to the stage, and I thought that maybe I will get a special tap on my shoulder or whatever. And then they said that the best in show was me. And, I was just standing there. What? And somebody just pushed me from behind that, go on the stage, go on the stage. I was, wow, oh my God. So it was really funny. You will see the video. Yes, so the judges were really well known. One of them was Yaya Han. Have you ever heard of her? Yeah, who hasn't? So it was a really big honor for me to meet her in person, and she was a really pleasant surprise, really humble, friendly. So anytime you can meet her, she will be really, pleased to take a photo with anyone. So it's not like those cosplay celebrities we hear bad stories about. So she is not conceited at all. The other one was a really famous makeup artist from Canada. Yes, Lion Mosley. She is not really known in Europe, I guess, but she was amazing too, super kind. And the third one was the previous winner in Vienna, HA Designs GBR. And it was really fun meeting him in person. So this should be the video of, yes, it starts, oh my God. So. Yeah, so it was only just a highlight video, but I think that you could get the notion of this. So really high standard, really quality costumes. So I was really honored to be chosen Best in Show. And this is how it all started, winning this whole Vienna Comic Con in November in 2016. And the American final was this April, so I had some months to prepare. So let's have some words about the C2E2 Crown Final Global Championships. So here are the global champions. She was from France, so the other European competitor from World of Warcraft Orc. She was one of my personal favorites, so she was also really super nice. The next one is from, she was actually from the Philippines, but she represented Singapore. And she didn't enter the final with this costume, so I will show you some pictures about this. But she is one of the most popular Far Eastern cosplayers. So I was just, oh my God, I'm meeting her in real life. She was the Australian, another Warcraft orc, and she was my second personal favorite. She was just, I don't know what to say about her. She shaved her head for this. So, wow. All the things that are not visible in the picture, that she had lots of electronics built in her costume, so really exceptional one. She was the Chinese champion, and it's Genji. Yes, a Genji. And guess what? After the whole competition and after I won the crown, he gave me his sword as a present. So I just couldn't even find words. So wow, it was like a samurai or something, like an honor or whatever. He was Chinese, not Japanese, but it was like a samurai spirit. Yes, the next champion is from the Western United States. She also entered it with a different costume, and she was the Eastern, and she is the Western champion from the New York Comic Con, and it was me. Yes, that's enough. Yes, and he was the Indonesian, but he couldn't make it to America, so I didn't meet her, him, or her. Yes, because from the name of the champion, I just couldn't tell if it's a male or female. But unfortunately, yes, they weren't there. And he was the Indian champion, Samir, and he was like a fanboy, jumping all around us. But he had 2 meters of wings, so 2 meters and 2 meters, all in all 4. So it was really a funny moment. So some more information. As I told you that there is also a local championship. More than 30 American cosplayers enter it, also in the 4 categories that I mentioned: armor, needlework, FX, and larger than life. And also they had quite famous judges. Ivy Doomkitty, does it ring a bell? She is quite a big celebrity in the United States. She is a cosplayer and a plus-size model. And she doesn't have really complicated costumes, but what she does for the whole community, accepting yourself, and for the curvy people can also cosplay. It's really nice. So she was also really kind. There was Holly Conrad, who is a professional costume designer, and her hobby is also cosplay. Adam Middleton, I was really excited about him. He was from New Zealand, and he worked on The Lord of the Rings, and he was the concept artist for the Ghost in the Shell. And I could, there are lots of titles that he worked on, so oh my God. And Christian Beckman, who was a Hollywood special effects artist. Have you heard of Cosplay Melee? It's a reality show in the United States, and he is one of the judges. It's just like Heroes of Cosplay. So they have a deadline, and they have to make a costume by that. Yes, let's have a picture of them. So this is Ivy Doomkitty, Holly Conrad, yes, Adam Middleton, and David Beckman. And they were super kind, super friendly. I didn't have the tension in front of them at all. They had really good questions, and yes, just really positive experience. So my adventures in Chicago. So there are going to be lots of pictures. So let's start with the first one. This is when we were changing in Berlin. Actually, we were traveling from Budapest to Berlin by a flight that was operated by Alitalia. You know, Italian people, they are not famous for their punctuality. So my flight was 50 minutes delayed. And for no reason, because, you know, everybody was on the plane, there was nothing special, and they were just chatting, not flying. And unfortunately, we only had 1.5 hours to transfer from one flight to the other. So we had to literally run through everything, and we just managed to catch our flight. It was somewhere a kilometer far from, I don't know, we were running, and people were just making, run faster, you know, the officers in the airport. So it was just a horror. So this was the time when I was, we caught the plane, oh my God. But the flight from Berlin to Chicago took around 11 hours. And all the time I was planning to sleep, you know, or watching movies or whatever. But I had a really strange feeling that something is not okay. Something is not right. Something might have happened to my luggage. Because I had three pieces of luggage with me, 2 huge suitcases, and a really big bag that I had to sew for the weapons. And guess what? In Chicago, one of the bags was lost. The bag with the weapons. So all of my armor pieces were okay, all of my makeup, my wig, almost my everything, except for the weapons. And I was just terrified. I didn't sleep anything. On the first night, I was trying to contact the airline. People in Austria were helping me. You know, there were 7 hours of time difference. So it was about 2 a.m. and in Vienna, it was 9 a.m. Then they were constantly trying to call the airline for me, but they weren't helping at all. So I thought that I may be disqualified or whatever. So it was a real horror for me. So after 18 hours of traveling and a night with no sleep at all, the next day I was just, you know, I was just like Walking Dead. But we wanted to use our time really smartly, so we went sightseeing, just like, you know, like Walking Dead, but we wanted to see the city. And after we got off the plane, this was the first thing we saw. So, you know, Chicago is really famous for its landscape with the skyscrapers. And in America, everything is so much bigger. So we were going on a road with 4 lanes, and we told the taxi driver, wow, what a wide road. And he said, we are going on this to the wide road. So, yes, six lanes on both directions. And I was, okay, right? So it was really, really amazing that everything is so big. You know, Chicago lays on the lake of Lake Michigan. So that's why it's called the Windy City. And yes, wind was blowing constantly. And yes, you can see it on my hair, so flying everywhere. But yes, you know, the landscape is just amazing. I am not really into the urban skyline or whatever, but it is so unforgettable. I loved it so much. And also, who loves Married with Children? Nobody, not so many people. Yeah. Yes, Al Bundy. So, you know, it starts with the Buckingham Fountain. And my father is a big fan of Al Bundy. His name translated to English is also Alexander, so Al. And he told me that take a photo in front of the fountain. And as it was April, it was quite cool. The fountain was empty, so there was no water. But yes, I had it in front of the Buckingham Fountain. And after that, we went up to the Hancock Tower. You know, it used to be one of the tallest buildings in the world, and it was one of the panoramas there. So really amazing. Is anyone who is afraid of heights? Yes, so this place is not for you. But yeah, it is worth watching, even if you just, you know, don't go to the windows, because it's just wow. You can spot the places of interest that, okay, let's go there. So the first place where we went was this, and we were strolling the streets until the sun went down. This is another, well, yes, it's me, you know, Lake Michigan in the background and all the other skyscrapers. Again, a panorama photo, so it's really breathtaking, I guess. And it's quite near to the Millennium Park, where is the Bean, which is a really, really interesting monument, if we could say. It's just like a huge mirror, and if you go inside, you just lose all your sense of orientation because you are reflected from everywhere. So it's really interesting, and we took a photo. It's my sweetheart, and I was photobombing from the background. So this is under and inside the Bean. Yes, this is the Hancock Tower. So this is where the photos from the top. It's around 400 meters tall, and we were on the 100th floor or something like this. I keep confusing it with the Sears Tower, which is this. You know, the Sears Tower has 9 different towers in a really interesting shape, and this used to be the world's most tall building. It's the tallest building for a couple of years. So it is even 10 floors taller than the Hancock Tower. Yes, and I'm there, you know. In the Sears Tower, which is now the Willis Tower, they have these plexi windows where you can walk outside and sit down or do whatever you want. And yes, so I was really walking on air there. So it was on the second day. If you're afraid of heights, it is even worse. Yes. Yes, it is even worse. But guess what? In the Hancock Tower, there is this tilting stuff, you know. You just grab the handlebars and they tilt you out. So you stand and into the city. So yes, it's frightful. We didn't try that, but this kind of glass or plexi something was quite okay. Yes. Chicago is really famous for its cuisine because they make things different, just like in other parts of the USA, and they have this special Chicago-style pizza, the stuffed pizza, and we went to Giordano's. It's quite next to the Willis Tower, and it was the pizza of my life. So I just want to eat it every day, but unfortunately I cannot. And it's so full of cheese that there is a kind of tradition that if you pull the first, or if you lift up the first slice, you just pull the cheese. Pull, pull, pull. And if you take a photo of it and send into their page, then you can win a free dinner at their place. So it's super, super good. And the service was excellent. So yes, really nice, really kind people everywhere. And they also have a special Chicago hot dog, which has also different toppings, a bit hot, a bit spicy, but it is really worth trying that. Oops. So yes, you know, they have that bicycle service with the docking stuff, and we didn't want to waste time with buses and whatever, so we always picked the bike and just went everywhere around the city. So it was really convenient. And, you know, you can see the same clothes on me all the time because my clothes were in the bag that was lost. So, yes, that's why I'm always wearing those red pants and the same cardigan all the time because, ooh. Yes, I wanted to look really classy. This was my traveling suit. I wanted to look really classy everywhere, but all my clothes were somewhere around the globe. Yeah. The next one, you know, the second thing what I thought when I learned that I can go to the United States is that, I can go to a Sephora. I can buy Kat Von D cosmetics. So the first time I saw a Sephora, I just rushed in. And yes, the girls there who worked there were super fine. So what I noticed that in the United States, there are lots of people in the shops, you know, kind of shopkeepers or something like this, and they just, you know, greet you and be kind of you, and it was so, unnatural for me from Hungary, you know. And yes, they always told us compliments and whatever. And then I found, you know, the stove for the Kat Von D cosmetics, and I just kept, putting the stuff into my bag. Like, I just didn't even count how much it would be. And I went to the checkout, and I bought everything, and the next day, it was quite a lot, but I didn't care, because, who knows when I can go back and buy again. And the next day, I got a phone call from my bank. And they said, there has been there has been a strange spending in the other side of the globe. I think your bank account might have been hacked and blah, 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 blah. And it was me. So, yes, but I don't regret it, because my boyfriend was really sweet. I was quite, to tell you the truth, I don't like shopping sprees and I don't like spending lots of money. But he told me that, okay, why do you think that you should spare it on yourself? Just buy it. How would you get it in another way? So it's not really available in Europe, only in the UK and in Italy. So I'm happy that I bought everything. And now some pictures from the convention. The convention hall was next to the hotel where I was staying, and it was huge. So there were around 30,000 people per day, and lots of cosplays, good cosplays, medium cosplays. When there are more people, there are more amazing cosplays. So we will see some pictures. Oh. Yes, these were the moments before going to the prejudging. I just checked everything in the hotel room. And this is the prejudging. Here are the people I was talking about, Holly, Ivy, and David, and Adam is sitting at the table. And they just really inspected everything, really asked me really good questions. And we had only 5 minutes. So it wasn't enough for anything, but, maybe it's enough for a good jury to check and see everything. So you don't have to talk about obvious things. And what I really liked about judging is that we went there in the morning. There were some lists, and we could pick an appointment. I picked 2:30 in the afternoon, and I went there, and I could just go to the jury because there were no delays, which was, wow, I want to live here. So, yeah. Yes, and this was the Singapore contestant I was talking about. She brought this costume. And what was amazing about her, that all the green parts could change color. So she inbuilt RGB LEDs, and when she pushed the button, it just could change color. So when I saw her, I thought that, okay, I have no chance. He was one of my favorites. He was in the American competition, with the gremlin. He was in the larger-than-life category, and it was really funny to take this photo because somebody was leaning on the side of the picture, and his butt was always in the way. So we had to take thousands of photos until we got this one. But he was really friendly and amusing personality. So, yes, with the French champion, in the background you can see a map of different countries who were there for the final. And this is at the Vita booth. They did the game, the Lord of the Rings stuff and all the things. Adam Middleton works for them, so I had to purchase this See No Heretic. Yeah, and here we are before going on stage. You can see some of the other contestants. It was around 9 p.m., so I was that tired. Oh my God, I just couldn't even realize what was going around me. So I was in a surreal condition. Yes, and this is the announcement of the winners. There I'm holding the crown, what you can see here. So this is literally the crown championship of cosplay, because the champion gets crowned. And on the left you can see the third place. She's American, so she was the Eastern champion. And she hand-painted everything on her armor. It was just really spectacular and really amazing. And the Singapore champion was the second. So, when everything was announced, the third place, she was the second. I was, oh my God, who the hell could be the first one? And then the MC said that I'm the first, but she couldn't really pronounce my name. So everybody was standing there for a second, and I realized that, did she say Inquisitor? And yeah, oh my God. So I was trembling. All of my body parts were trembling. You know, it was the end of something really great, and it's really hard to describe the feeling, but I hope that everybody will have a moment in their lives like this. So it was just like, what should I do after this? Yeah, this is, you know, we got the awards. And the third place winner also won the American championship, so the local one. So she is a double champion. Yes, and this was taken when we got home, because on our way home there was no there were no complicated things, and the funny stuff that we asked at the hotel every day that did we get a bag or something like this from the airport? And no. But when we went back on Sunday and asked at the lost baggage that did you get something from Berlin like this? And oh yes, it's here. So it arrived on Sunday, one day after the contest. But everybody and the judges were so nice that that I could show pictures of my weapons. Normally it is not allowed, and also I forgot to tell you that this is a really special contest that skits are not allowed. So in Europe, it is really important. Almost half of the points come from the stage performance. But in America, in this championship, no skits are allowed. Not on stage, not in the prejudging. So, well, to tell you the truth, it was really for me. Because for me, cosplay is primarily about crafting. And stage performance is the necessary evil. So, of course, I can do that if I have energy or whatever, but after working on a costume for a year, I just don't, I'm just burned out. And I just want to wear it, and I don't always have the time to prepare for the stage because it will require lots of time, effort, just to tell a story, just to have a concept. And here, no. And I was relieved. Okay, it's nice. So, back to my luggage. We got it back. Everything was intact. Everything was there, all my clothes and everything. So in Budapest, it arrived. This was the first bag that came on the conveyor belt. So I was like, yay! We wanted to pop something that, yay! Throwing confetti everywhere. And, these bags were really big. So I could fit into the checked one. I can even lie into that. And yeah, I could be smuggled all around the world in that. Yes, and this was my costume. I really love this epic pose. And yes, I think the next one, yes. Ooh. It jumped over my video, so I'm going to start it from here. So American cosplay is I think, a next level. So in this video you will see, and in the beginning of the video you will have some pictures from Chicago, the city, and then from the convention. So I hope you will like this.
We spared no expense.
Hide. home of the good burger. Can I take your order?
Oh, what do you want me to say, baby? Oh, Shazam!
Yes, and this was only a small piece of everything, so it was just amazing. So I cannot really describe it, but I hope you liked it. It was just a general level of cosplay there, so wow.
It is allowed to applaud.
And some of the costumes you saw there also participated in the American Championship, so it was really nice. So I think that we can discuss if you have any questions at the end, because I also wanted to show you some stuff of the Swiss Championship. Have you ever heard about Cosplay Gen? It's a quite prominent magazine that supports quality cosplay through the world. And they started it last year, that you can send in some photos, and they just pick out some good costumes, and then you can participate in their championship. So let's continue the slides. So as I told you, we started last year, and this is like a cosplay Oscar. So they give award in some categories. Like, as I told you, this is an online application, World Championship. You can send in at least 6 photos of your costume. And there is a prominent jury. And they decide how to say, there is a semi-final if we could say, 20 costumes in 5 categories: the best costume, the best armor, the best prop, the best photographer, and best videographer. And I sent in my Inquisitor for the best costume category. And there were 13 judges. 9 of them were for the cosplay part, and the remaining 4 were judging the videos and the photos. And I was so lucky that I was among the 25 semi-finalists of the best costume. And a week later, it was announced that I was one of the 5 candidates for the best costume. So I was just, it was right before the American convention, so I was just like, oh my God, the world is going to be mine or something like this. And as I told you, it was in Switzerland. Have you ever heard of Davos? It's a ski paradise in the heart of Switzerland, 120 kilometers from Zurich. And it is so picturesque, it is amazing. All the mountains that you see in the Milka advertisements are there. So they are real, they are not photoshopped. There are really cows, but they are not purple. But yes, so yeah, we were just, we were taken by buses from Zurich to Davos, and we were just, it cannot be real. It cannot be real. No, it's not. And it's a bit cooler there, so the flowers started blooming in May, and one of the contestants in the best costume category just went to the tulips and touched them if they are real or not, because they were so perfect. I don't know if you have ever noticed, but if you go in the western direction, every time the grass gets greener and greener and greener, literally. And it was green, the greenest green. So, yeah, really nice. The strange thing about this contest was that the results were already decided, so they haven't seen anything of our costumes live. So only the pictures were there, the only thing that they saw. And if somebody was really good at Photoshop, then, it is a really good chance to win. But yeah, this is this kind of contest, so I didn't really mind because I was among the 5 good ones. And another video comes here, just a promo video from the cosplay gen, and you can see the landscape. Yes, and the other contestants too. So this was the promo, and you could see all the nominees. And in the Yes, let's get back. In the best costume nominee, the Italian guy, Manuel Di Andrea won, and I was 2 points from the first place, so I'm also really proud and honored. The best armor was won by the Ukrainian My 99 Reality, who is my cosplay crush now. So I will show you our photos together. And the best proc was won by the Russian girl, Smirka, with the black hat stuff. And the best photographer was not in the video. Oh, yes, he was not in the video because we already know who won. And I just want to show you the video of the best videographer. You will see some footages from the Swiss convention. And I will be also featured with 2 costumes, so get ready. And this is by Rescue the Princess from Canada.
Prepoznajete našu gošću Čibikona.
I think that is enough because there is going to be a bit pun in the end, but I don't want to waste more time because we are running out of time.
Samo mogu da kažem za ove video i tata bisine.
So yes, as you could see, it is quite a different word, quite a different level. The Swiss convention was much smaller than the American one, but yes, it was really nice. And let's continue. So, and finally, drum roll, I could meet my cosplay crush there. So yes, nobody expects the Imperial Inquisition. So yes, finally we could take a photo. And in secret, he's a traitor, because when we took this photo, he was shouting, "Death to the fourth emperor." That's why I'm having that displeasure on my face. Yeah, so yes, thank you for your attention. And my final words would be that be brave, have courage, and if you don't have opportunities here, then travel to other countries, not only for conventions, not only for competitions, just, you know, to have new experiences, meet people, making friends and all these things, because it gave so much to me. It also gives a lot to me when I come here, so...
So see you next Japanizam.
Hopefully I will. I will be here, so thank you. And I know that we are really short on time, but have you got any questions? Hi.
Ajmo dok smo mladi s tim pitanjem.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
Well, I see that you have seen so many cosplays and so many amazing cosplay. We just saw a few of them. So, is there any cosplay that you've seen that left the biggest impact on you? I mean, that you were simply surprised how amazing it was?
Oh, well, as I told you, the Singapore champion was just, oh my, you know, with the color-changing costume, super technical, super complicated. I also loved the ex-sisters who were doing that really huge robot that won the American larger-than-life category. And I met the world's greatest Joker. He wasn't in the video, but he was just really amazing. But when I'm tired, I tend to forget people's names. So unfortunately, I cannot recall it now. But it's really hard to pick real, you know, one or two people.
I understand. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes?
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. I was late for the start, so perhaps you've said it. You've traveled, and
Yes.
how complicated is it to move your costume through the customs and everything else? I expect a lot.
Yes, you know, I applied for an ESTA to the United States, and it granted me 2 years to enter the United States. And I was super nervous about the custom stuff. Because while we were waiting at the border protection for the Homeland Security officer, they were talking to a Mexican look-like person, and they took him to a separate room. And I was, oh my God, they won't let me enter the States. And after that, they were super kind, and they didn't even open my bags. So there was nothing special. What the only question was that, what is the purpose of your travel? And I said that I'm a VIP at C2E2, and they said, okay, I have no more questions. So they were super kind. It was a really nice experience.
Imamo još jedno pitanje ovde i s obzirom da smo očigledno već uveliko uleteli u termin filmu, morat ćemo da privodimo kraju. Ako imate bilo kakva pitanja za Okkido, dođete gore na cosplay štand gde je ona bazirana i svakako možete pratiti njenu stranicu i poslati joj lično. Poslednje pitanje.
Okay, I just wanted to ask, do you have any plans for next cosplay?
Well, yes. You know, this American championship gave me so much that I have been invited to many places, and one of them is Monaco for Magic Cosplay Masters World Championship. And I'm going there, and I have to keep it a top secret what my costume is. I mustn't even publish any pictures of the work in progress. So what I can tell you, that is also Warhammer 40K.
Oh, that's good.
Hvala na pažnji. Aplauz za našu gošću i uživajte u filmu, a mi se svi vidimo sutra.